You know, somebody very smart said to me recently that the challenge with women's basketball is that most of the stars are black, but most of the great players are black, but most of the stars are white, whether it's who's getting awarded by the ESPN, whether who's getting noticed by the magazines. And like you said, if there were charter flights, Brittany Griner would not have ended up in a gulag, right? These ladies are flying commercial, and
Yes,
they're not treated as like the men are. How much of this do you think, though, is the marketing potential of a Caitlin Clark? Because, quite frankly, this is a league that is largely, as you said, largely black women. It's also largely LGBTQ. She's a white, heterosexual woman. And so if you're trying to get white dads to go spend their money and buy season tickets, she seems like a marketing opportunity. How much of it is that?
Oh, my gosh. Can they ever not be bitter? That's what's her face, Joy Reid. She exists just to get stupid sound bites from. That's it. Otherwise, nobody cares what she says on her program. Welcome back to the program, Dana Loesch, with you. Top of this third hour. I'm so tired of hearing these people be so bitter over Caitlin Clark. She's like, oh, if Brittany Griner had charter flights. Yes, it was the lack of a charter flight that put the pot on Brittany Griner's person. That's what it was. See, when you don't get a charter flight, if you're going to Russia, pot magically appears. You magically get the cannabis oils that are banned there, and you try to surreptitiously stuff it away in your luggage, but it's banned there. It's Russia, for crying out loud. I mean, what did you think? It was, and she wasn't going as part of a team, was she? When Brittany Griner was going over to Russia, wasn't she going on her own?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, what the hell does that have to do with the charter flight? They just don't like Caitlin Clark because she's white and straight. That's it. They don't like Caitlin Clark because she's not a black lesbian. That's the truth of it. Stop. She's not a bad player. I don't get it. She didn't get picked for the Olympic team. Steve, let me ask you this. Do you think she should have been picked for the Olympic team? Because it seemed like she's been doing a lot of good. I know this is her rookie season, but there were chicks that have not even played a single game this season who are injured who got selected for the Olympic team.
There's a debate to be had. If you were trying to, in my opinion, if you're trying to get the 12, 15, 20 best American female basketball players, Caitlin Clark is on that list. But I guess I had to make a decision, and she didn't make that cut. So
yeah, I don't know. I feel like it just seems punitive. It's like, I understand you got to pay your dues in that, but this doesn't seem like you're paying your dues, does it? This seems like they're mad at her because she's successful and she's bringing eyeballs in and sponsorship opportunities and all of this stuff. Like, I don't know. I mean, the whole thing is just weird to me. Isn't it?
I think they'd rather have a man play than let Caitlin Clark play.
Well, yeah, it seems like it. Go ahead, Steve.
She played in D.C. on Friday night because I knew some people that went. And they sold out the whole arena. And, the Wizards, who are the NBA team here, can't even sell out at all. And she sold out the whole place.
She sold out the whole place, and the Wizards can't even sell it out. Wow. That's wild. Yeah, she doesn't make the USA Olympics team. It seems like, and she's really classy about it. She goes, oh, I'm excited. It's the most competitive team. And, she said it could have gone either way. She goes, me being on the team, not being on the team. She's like, I'll be rooting for them to win gold. She's way classier than all the people who are gunning for her. And for her to be left to, I think it's a snub, because she seems, I don't know. I mean, and Brittany Griner Brittany Griner has no business being snotty about it. Some said that they weren't even going to watch the competition. And Griner apparently tweeted something and said, bye, after someone said, no, Caitlin, don't got to worry about me watching. Brittany Griner, you're an American embarrassment. Stop. You don't even have any ground to be catty over Caitlin Clark at all whatsoever. For real. It's, I don't know. She's being classy about it. She's looking at the long game. But now I'm wondering, does the WNBA, do they want to be militant identity politic, or do they want to be a successful league? Because I feel like they don't want to be a successful league. It feels like they want to be militantly identity politic to the point where merit and competitiveness are number 2. I mean, that's what it seems like. I read this piece that said, oh man, this team is going to be the gayest team in the Olympics. Like literally, like they said half of the team are lesbians. Does that, to me, her not conforming with identity politics and not making that like her number one identity feels like it hurts her. See, this is what I don't get. Since we have a whole month for this stuff, what I don't get is how some of these activists claim that they want to be, I guess, cleaved in or completely viewed as just the same as everyone else, but they make their sexual identity their number one identity to the point where everything else about them is overshadowed. And then if you point out that that seems to be hypocritical, then you're called a bigot. Right? It's weird. And it feels like that with the WNBA. I don't know. I think it's dumb that she's not. I wasn't going to watch women's basketball in the first place. Look, I don't even watch WNBA now. And I like basketball, but I don't watch WNBA. I don't have time for this. There seems like more drama than on the men's court. It's good grief. But I think she can take it. I think she's used to, stuff like this. But I mean, clearly her popularity is making a lot of these other players feel uncomfortable. And, if these women are unappreciative of that, if they don't see that a rising tide raises all ships, then go back to having them fly commercial. Go back to all this stuff. They want all the perks that come with Caitlin Clark, but they don't want Caitlin Clark. That's sad to be that little in your thinking. I also think, you know what this goes to show? Is this is a problem with women, gay or straight. Women are like this. Aren't they, King? They are like this. I cannot stand most women. They're just bitches. I can't stand them. There's a handful of women that I actually like. And in this industry, it's even smaller. Some of the craziest women are women that wear these big old crosses and they go on cable news and they act like holier than thou pundits. And I know the real story. Like, come on. I cannot. One day I'm going to write a book and names will be named. But there's this idea that's so prevalent amongst women that I don't see it with men. A scarcity of access or a scarcity of opportunity. And my friend Carol Roth and I have talked about this before. She's like one of the few women I actually like. And they're not, they're women who I think revel in the sufferings of other women. And they view every woman as competition. And what I find so interesting about this WNBA stuff is that you can be a militant black lesbian, but you are not immune. You are a woman still, and you are still doing this stuff even in the WNBA. So there are some things you cannot change. And there are women who want to cosplay as men and act like they're transgender men. They do this same thing. It is a woman thing. It is innate. Not every woman, but most women. It's very interesting to watch this. But the WNBA seems like the world's worst workplace because it's all broads. All women. It's like the world's worst workplace. And Caitlin Clark, bless her heart, rookie, she's hated because she's straight. She's hated because she's white. She's hated because she's not into identity politics. She keeps the drama off the court. She shows up, just does what she does. People hate her for it. They're jealous of her. They're jealous of her youth. They're jealous of her talent. They're jealous of her presence, her influence. I'd be like, thanks, girl, for us flying charter. Thanks for us being able to fly charter. That's awesome. Thanks for that. This is how women should look at stuff like this. If you have to worry about being replaced, if you are replaced by somebody better than you, it's deserved.